Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm your host Bob Cooper and this is the HEXPOL Leadership Series. Today on the show we have Mr. Randy Simpson, the Chief Operating Officer for HEXPOL Compounding. Randy, it's an honor and pleasure to have you on the show.
Good to see you.
Now Randy has three hills to die on. He has safety, mentorship, and wellness. So Randy, tell us why those three things are so important.
Let's first talk about safety. Pain is not a good thing. I've never met the person that said, hey, put me in pain. I sort of like this thing. Mm-hmm. You and I want to go home to our loved ones on a daily basis, and we want to be able to see them, feel them, touch them, and love them. And we want to go home the same way we came to work. And so safety, and Safety 24/7, which is the book I'm holding that someone just gave to me a few minutes ago, is important. It's important to the individual, it's important to our organization, and it's important for the health of our organization. So we went on I'm going to call it a crusade, Bob, probably 15, 16 months ago, and we started trying to raise the awareness, raise the consciousness, and raise the behavior of every one of our associates. And the reason we do it is because we care and we love people and we want people to go home the same way they came in. Now what the culture we're trying to create is this one called 24/7. Pam Hensley just gave me this book a few minutes ago. But we've been talking about 24/7 safety culture for probably the last 4 or 5 months. So we want people to do the same thing at home as they're doing it at work.
So Randy, when you talk about 24/7 safety culture, can you elaborate just a little bit more on what it takes to create a culture of safety?
Yeah, well, I mean, I use those three words, awareness. We have to, I call it get on the stump, okay? If you study presidential history just a little bit, you'll find out that in the early days when presidential candidates went from town to town to town, what they did was they found a stump and they got up on that stump and so they project out to the crowd. And that's what I tell our guys every day. As guys that run plants and businesses, they got to get on the stump. And getting on the stump basically says I'm trying to raise awareness. Mm-hmm. If I raise awareness and now you're more aware of your environment, then I'm raising your consciousness. And your consciousness is that part of your brain that it's happening all the time. You just don't know it's happening kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And if I can do that, then the behavior starts changing. And so those three things working together will make a big difference in our safety performance. And we've seen that. You know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
You know that the numbers over the last 2 or 3 years, we have reduced the safety incidents about 35%.
Wow.
35% year over year. Now Randy didn't do that. All these other folks in the organization did it, and you know how they did it? By getting on that stump and raising awareness, addressing issues, getting people involved, and driving that safety culture 24/7. So when you walk out, you don't go, okay, I can set my safety aside, just put it over here on the shelf because it's okay, because I'm going to get in my car and I'm going home. We don't want you doing that. We want you to be defensive drivers, right? Mm-hmm. That's why we invested in defensive driving for 450 associates through our organization. And then when you go home and you start your lawnmower, what should you do, Bob?
Safety features, safety glasses.
Absolutely. When you get on that treadmill, as we learned last week,
kill switch.
Put that kill switch on. Those are all safety measures that are built into these type things. And that's what we want you to do. We want that consciousness to be brought up.
So the consciousness to be brought up, and it's all about raising the awareness, getting up on that stump and modeling the way and making a culture of 24/7 safety.
One of my favorite phrases, model the way.
Model the way.
Model the way.
So number 2 on your list, Randy, is mentorship. And by the way, we had some mentors on the show earlier, so we got some actual firsthand feedback of what the mentorship program means to them. Yeah. So let's get your take on mentorship. What is your vision of mentorship?
Well, my vision, ask me the definition of mentorship.
Randy, what's the definition, your definition of mentorship?
My definition of mentorship is somebody that will walk alongside me that pours into me, that helps me understand and know the things that I don't know and I don't understand. Someone who would give me advice over the tough spots. Someone that I can make a phone call to and say, hey, I got this issue, I just want to talk it through. Someone who teaches me the things that they know that I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it really does two things. It bends the learning curve, so it speeds it up, right? And when we do that, guess what we are? We're a heck of a lot better than we was. So it's about growing people, and it's about speed of growing people. And for me, that's the definition of mentorship.
Yeah, that's a pretty great definition, because it sounds like what we're trying to do is intentionally pass on knowledge,
Absolutely.
Intentionally pass on experience, so we can take our people and we can grow them faster, we can grow them safer, and help them learn from the mistakes that we have made, and also the things that have made us successful we can pass on to them as well.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you see long term for mentorship within HEXPOL?
Well, we want to be able, we've started at the ground floor level, you know that. Mm-hmm. Keith Johnson has joined our organization, and I put him in charge of mentorship because I want this thing shaped and structured. And then I want it to be able to step up through the organization. So today we have a mentorship program. We're starting at the ground floor, so that's all the operations guys and shipping dock and those type things, but it'll expand, and it'll go to maybe maintenance next, and customer service and sales and marketing and accounting. And the goal is eventually that everyone in the company will have a mentor. Everyone in the company will have someone that they can go to that helps them grow into the person that they have the capabilities to become. Eventually, on down the road, 5 years ago, is to have HEXPOL University. That's been a dream of ours for about 5 or 6 years. We can see it now much clearer than we could see it before. So that's really what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve a program that helps people get better.
And ultimately, that's what it's all about.
Amen.
Getting better in every aspect we can think of.
Amen.
Now let's talk about Randy's number 3 thing, which is wellness, because I notice you have this thing hanging around your neck.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
So let's talk a little bit about wellness. What's on Randy Simpson's mind when it comes to wellness?
Look, I'm going to tell you. Now, all credit to this goes to a guy named Joy Young. And the story of Joy Young, so we have a little medal here, and on the front it's the molecule, it's the HEXPOL molecule, and then on the back it has a little saying, and it says, you grow an organization by growing its people. Joy Young, general manager of the plant in Kennedo, Texas, I guess 2 years ago now, went for a wellness exam. And the doctor said, Joy, here's your pills for your diabetes, or your insulin, I suppose. And here's your pill for your high blood pressure. And start taking these pills, and I'll see you in a while. Joy said, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. There's got to be another answer. Joy Young, in 1 year, lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
Joy Young takes nothing for diabetes. You know why?
Why?
He don't have diabetes.
Wow.
He takes nothing for blood pressure. He is a wellness champion. And Joy Young come up with an idea of a virtual 5K. So if you're in our company and you're an employee and you have a daughter, a son, a spouse, you can sign up. You can do that 5K. The only thing we do is ask you to give us a little snapshot on your phone. Your phone's very capable of taking a little snapshot, or it'll track how fast you go, and we'll send you a medal. And this will be your accomplishment. And wellness, as you get older, Bob. How old are you, Bob?
35.
35. I wish I was 35, but I'm not. And so health and wellness become more precious. Just trust me on this one, okay? Mm-hmm. It becomes more precious as you get a little bit older. And you start thinking about all those things that we do to our bodies that maybe we shouldn't do to our bodies because we only got one, right? Mm-hmm. And there's two things that we can do, okay? There's two things we can do. One thing we can do is exercise, some kind of way, whether it's walking a 5K or a 3.2 miles, where it's running, lifting weights, it's climbing, so whatever it is, go do it. And then the other one is the nutrition or the fuel you put in your body. So we have started a program in Dyersburg, Tennessee. It's called our wellness program. It's in its infancy. We'll see how it goes, but we're committed to people. I told somebody, I said, you know, if this thing that we say on the back, you grow an organization by growing its people, and this thing we say that says our greatest asset, our most appreciable asset is people. If we're serious about that, then we ought to be serious about wellness. And we ought to be serious about helping people get better, finding solutions to some of their health problems. And from an organizational point of view, what will it do? It'll bend the curve of healthcare costs. They keep going up and up and up and up and up. Well, how do you bend that curve? You help people get healthier. So we're passionate about it. We're passionate about safety. We're passionate about mentorship. And we're passionate about wellness.
You know, you made a really good point when you were telling about Joey Young's story, about when he went to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then red flags were raised, you know, and multiple issues. But, you know, think about what would happen if he had not went to the doctor. What could have happened?
Yeah.
So once again, when it comes to wellness, it's all about raising awareness.
Absolutely.
You know, caring about your people, getting more people involved, and trying to educate them on what wellness is. Because the better off we are health-wise, the better person we are all around. I mean, the better off we are for a company or an organization, and going home to our families as well. So the more we can educate, obviously, the better it's going to be.
Amen.
So right here, we've definitely heard it today on Randy's top 3: safety, mentorship, and wellness. And I'm Bob Cooper, and this is the HEXPOL Leadership Series.